The story begins about 1100 years ago, when the king Aurvandil and his brother Fjolnir were returning after winning a battle. Aurvandil met his wife Gudrun and his son Amleth, to whom he gave a special necklace that he had won by killing a prince. Fjolnir also met his son, Thorir. After meeting everyone, Aurvandil spent some time alone with his wife, Gudrun. He told her about his wounds and said that he wasn't going to die anytime soon, because he wanted to die fighting on the battlefield like a warrior. Still, he wanted to prepare his son Amleth for the future. That very night, Aurvandil took Amleth to the temple, so a special ritual could be performed according to their tradition, after which Amleth would turn from a boy into a man. All of this was done under the supervision of Hymir. During the ritual, both of them awakened the wolves inside them. Aurvandil also told Amleth about their family, and then made him promise to always live a respectable life and to take revenge for his father's death at any cost. After this, Hymir gave Amleth a special drink. After drinking it, Amleth began seeing strange visions, and when he touched his father's wounds, he saw all his ancestors. After some time, when both of them came out after completing the ritual, suddenly, some masked warriors attacked them. Seeing this, Amleth wanted to help his father, but Aurvandil asked him to run away to save his life. So, Amleth ran and hid behind a big stone, but the poor boy had to watch his father being shot by arrows one after the other. When the leader of those men removed his mask, Amleth was shocked to see that it was none other than Aurvandil's brother, Fjolnir, who had killed his own brother to become king. After that, Fjolnir sent his men to find Amleth, who had escaped into the forest. Still, a man named Venegas caught him for a moment, but Amleth managed to escape by cutting off his nose. After some time, when Amleth returned to his village, he saw that Fjolnir's men were killing all the supporters of Aurvandil one by one. Meanwhile, Fjolnir had kidnapped his own brother's wife, Gudrun. Venegas didn't want anyone to know that he had been defeated by a child, so he lied to Fjolnir that Amleth was dead. Seeing his life completely shattered, Amleth was heartbroken. He was completely broken inside, and that's why he decided to leave his old life behind and move forward. He took a boat from the seashore and sailed away. He made a promise to himself that he would definitely take revenge for his father's death, and also save his mother. Many years passed. Now, Amleth lived with a Viking tribe in the land of Rus. He had left his life as a prince and become a fierce warrior. The Viking kings lived like raiders. They used to attack different villages, kidnap the people, and sell them as slaves in other countries. In one such raid, after conquering the Gadkari village, Amleth walked into a temple, where he met Ceres. She reminded Amleth about his revenge and the promise he had made. She also told him that he would definitely succeed, but for that, he had to go to the village where Fjolnir now lived. Ceres also told him that he would have to follow a fox to find a special sword, which would help him complete his revenge. Before disappearing, Ceres told Amleth that she was helping him only because he was connected to the Maiden King, which he would come to know in the future. The next morning, Amleth found out that the people he had enslaved from the Gadkari village were being sent to a man named Fjolnir. On hearing this name, Amleth's ears perked up, and he began asking questions to gather more information about his enemy. During this time, he learned that after Fjolnir killed Aurvandil, the king of Norway attacked Fjolnir just a few days later, forcing him to lose everything and flee to Iceland. At that very moment, Amleth saw a raven and remembered that his father was called the King of the Ravens. He took this as a sign. After that, he cut his hair, stole the clothes of a slave, and even marked his chest with a slave's brand. He marked the spot and eventually boarded the ship carrying the slaves to Fjolnir. On the ship, he met a woman named Olga, who claimed to be a sorceress and somehow knew that Amleth was a Viking. But even after knowing this, she always treated Amleth kindly. Whenever Amleth was haunted by his past, Olga would comfort him. During the journey, their ship was caught in a terrible storm. But despite all the hardships, they somehow reached Iceland, where Fjolnir was already waiting for them. He took them as prisoners and brought them to his farm, where he lived with Thorir and his other son, Gunnar. But Fjolnir was not pleased to see such weak-looking slaves, and considered sending them back. However, Amleth was not ready to leave, now that he had come so close to his goal. As Fjolnir was about to send them away, Amleth started beating the man standing next to him to show his strength, so that Fjolnir would know that not everyone was weak. When Fjolnir asked him his name, Amleth gave a false one. After seeing Amleth's strength, Fjolnir assigned him and some other men to work in the fields. He also chose some girls, but his main attention was on Olga. On his first night at the farm, Amleth tried to steal a knife, but then noticed a fox roaming outside, just like the one from the Ceres's prophecy. Amleth realized he was on the right path. The next day, Amleth did the same work as the other slaves, which gave him the chance to enter Fjolnir's house. There, he was shocked to see that his mother, Gudrun, was still alive. and she had given birth to Fjolnir's other son, Gunnar. That night, Amleth followed the fox to a cave, where he met a sorcerer. The sorcerer showed him a severed head, and told him that he had kept Hymir's head ever since Fjolnir had killed him, and that he also knew Amleth's true identity. After this, the sorcerer used a special spell to let Amleth speak with Hymir's spirit, who told him the story of the ancient sword Draugr, which could only be used at night. To get the sword, Amleth would have to face its owner, the Mound Dweller, and to do this, he needed to trust in the light of the moon. Before Amleth left, the sorcerer warned him that in the future, he would have to choose between love for his loved ones and hatred for his enemies. After that, Amleth went into a hidden pit, where he found the body of the Dweller, who was holding the sword. As soon as Amleth tried to take the sword from his hands, the Dweller suddenly woke up and attacked him. At that moment, Amleth remembered what Hymir had said about the moonlight. He pushed the Dweller under the moonlight, and as soon as it fell on him, the Dweller bowed down, giving Amleth the perfect chance to kill him. But after killing the Dweller, when Amleth turned around, he was surprised to see himself still standing in front of the Dweller. When he tried to pick up the sword again, the Dweller didn't stop him this time. After this, when Amleth returned to the farm with the sword, Fjolnir's dog started barking at him. To silence the dog, Amleth began growling back at it. Because of this, Fjolnir didn't show much interest and left without even looking at Amleth. Later, Fjolnir went to Olga's room to spend the night with her, but Olga said she was having her period. This ruined Fjolnir's mood, so he left. Outside, Amleth was watching everything and realized it was the perfect time to attack. But by then, the sun had already started rising, which meant he couldn't use the sword, so he hid it and quietly left. The next day, Amleth told Olga about the sword, and she immediately agreed to help him. She was ready to kill Fjolnir too, as she also wanted her freedom. But then Amleth told her that along with killing Fjolnir, he also wanted to save his mother, Gudrun. According to him, she was also just a slave living quietly under Fjolnir for her and her child's safety. The next day, Fjolnir took his children and some trusted slaves to the chieftain, where his men were going to play a special game. In this game, there would be 2 teams of 5 men each, and they had to fight for a ball. Killing the opponent was allowed in the game. As soon as the game began, all the players started attacking each other. In the end, only Amleth and a very large man were left. Meanwhile, Gunnar was getting angry seeing Fjolnir's team losing, so he decided to grab the ball and run. But as soon as he ran with the ball in his hand, that big man attacked him. Before the man could kill Gunnar, Amleth rushed in, attacked the man, and killed him. During the celebration that night, Thorir came and congratulated Amleth. He told him that now he would receive some benefits on the farm, like doing less work and giving orders to other slaves. Along with this, Amleth was allowed to choose a woman for himself. He could choose Olga, as Fjolnir was no longer interested in her. On hearing this, Amleth didn't think twice. He went into the forest with Olga so that no one would disturb them. After spending some time expressing their love for each other, Olga used her magic to ask the earth for protection. Then she found some special mushrooms that would help Amleth complete his revenge. The next morning, they worked like ordinary slaves, but as soon as night fell, Amleth killed 2 of Gunnar's men with his sword and hung their bodies at a crossroads. The next morning, Gunnar was furious after seeing this. He believed it was the work of Christians, but Fjolnir didn't agree and called the priest of the farm to investigate. After examining the bodies for a while, the priest said that these were not ordinary wounds. Whoever did this was full of revenge, and he would definitely strike again. To protect his family from this danger, the priest decided to sacrifice a girl to God that very night. While the priest was preparing for the sacrifice, Amleth made all the animals create loud noises. Hearing the noise, Fjolnir's dog suddenly attacked him for some unknown reason. Because of this, Fjolnir was forced to kill the dog. When all the people came out to check the noise, Amleth took advantage of the distraction. He entered the temple, freed the girl, killed the priest, and hung his body inside the temple. The next day, Amleth entered the kitchen and mixed those special mushrooms into the soup. Meanwhile, all the slaves were given the task of guarding the farm. But because of the mushrooms, everyone started experiencing strange illusions and began attacking each other. At the same time, Amleth entered the main house with Olga's help. There, he met his mother, Gudrun, and revealed his true identity. Gudrun was happy to see him alive, but she had a secret that shocked Amleth. The secret that shook Amleth to his core was that, according to Gudrun, his father had actually bought her as a slave, and she never loved him. In fact, she had asked Fjolnir to kill Aurvandil so she could be with the man she truly loved. On the day of Aurvandil's murder, she wasn't screaming in fear, she was laughing. Amleth was stunned. For a moment, he even thought of killing Gudrun. But then Gudrun said, "I know how much you love your mother, me. If you manage to kill Fjolnir and Thorir, I will accept you as my new king, and then we can rule together." As soon as she said this, she kissed Amleth. a very strange thing, because he was her own son. But Amleth wasn't fooled by this twisted love. Without wasting any time, he went straight to Thorir's room and killed him in his bed. After that, he met Olga and told her everything. Now that Gudrun knew who he was, he couldn't stay at the farm as a slave any longer, so he went to hide in a secret place. The next morning, when Fjolnir saw his son's dead body, he was furious. Gudrun told him about Amleth's identity. After learning the truth, Fjolnir began killing the slaves one by one. But just when it was Olga's turn, Amleth showed up. This time, he was wearing his prince's necklace. He revealed his real name to Fjolnir and showed him the heart of his son, which he had taken out of Thorir's body the night before. Seeing this, Fjolnir became even more furious. He ordered his men to attack Amleth. Now Amleth had to fight all the soldiers, one after another. Taking advantage of the chaos, Olga managed to escape. Once Olga had left, Amleth surrendered. Fjolnir thought he had won the battle, especially now that he had recovered his son's heart. But then Amleth said, "This isn't your son's heart, it's your dog's." Hearing this, Fjolnir was filled with rage. He tied Amleth up in a room and gave the order to torture him. After beating him badly, Fjolnir asked where his son's real heart was, but Amleth refused to say anything. Fjolnir had to perform Thorir's last rites, and he didn't want any more delay, so he decided to deal with Amleth later. Before leaving, one of Fjolnir's soldiers threw Amleth's sword into the room, thinking it was useless since it couldn't be drawn from its sheath. As soon as they left, several ravens appeared, along with a strange man. On the other hand, everyone on the farm was busy with Thorir's funeral. After some time, when they returned to kill Amleth, they found that he had vanished. Amleth was seeing strange visions. He felt like he was riding a horse led by a Valkyrie. But when he opened his eyes, he realized that Olga had saved him. Now Amleth felt that maybe Olga was truly destined to be with him, and that's why he should run away with her. So, they did just that. After riding all day on horseback, they finally reached the seashore where they were allowed to board a boat. Once on the boat, Amleth noticed a wound on Olga's neck, caused by Fjolnir's dagger. When he touched the wound, he suddenly saw visions of his ancestors. Through this, he realized that Olga was going to be the mother of 2 children, one of whom would grow up to become the Maiden King. This was wonderful news, but Amleth believed that as long as Fjolnir was alive, his children would never be safe. He remembered the sorcerer's words about choosing between hatred for his enemies and love for his loved ones. So, he made his decision. He would go back and kill Fjolnir. As soon as night fell, Amleth returned to the farm and began killing the soldiers one by one. When he entered the main house, Gudrun attacked him. Amleth had no choice but to kill her. Then Gunnar attacked him from behind, and Amleth killed him too, after knocking him down. Soon, Fjolnir arrived. When he saw the dead bodies of his family, he told Amleth to meet him at the gate of Hell, referring to a place called Volcano Hekla, where their final battle would take place. Amleth had waited for this moment for many years, so even though he was badly injured, he immediately set out for the volcano. Before leaving, he paused for a moment and looked around at the burning village, set on fire by the slaves. Then Amleth reached the volcano where he and Fjolnir had a fierce and brutal fight. Because Amleth was already injured, Fjolnir started gaining the upper hand. But then, Amleth's anger turned into power, and he fought back with full strength. In the end, both of them killed each other. As Amleth lay dying, he had one final vision: Olga sitting peacefully with their 2 children in front of his eyes. If you liked the video, then don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.